Real healing means you're facing it, or more accurately, facing them. No contact is the complete opposite. No contact is avoiding, hiding, and denying. It is what it is. If you're really healing, then you face what or who the problem is. If you're really strengthening, then you address it head on. If you are not doing that, you're doing this no contact bullshit, you know what you're really doing? You're putting your fucking head in the sand and hoping that somehow your problems can disappear. It's not. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. The same problem is going to reappear for you over and over. Now, let me take a quick little step back here for a second here. Do not chime in unless you actually watch the full video here. I'm not talking, a lot of people confuse no contact verse with cutting somebody the fuck off. If you're cutting somebody the fuck off where you are literally never looking back in the rearview mirror, you would never even respond to them ever again, that's called cutting somebody the fuck off. That's not no contact. Most people use no contact as a manipulation tool, a problem delaying tool, because they don't know how to address themselves. They use no contact, most people, as a way to punish people with the silent treatment. That's really what they're doing here. They're not healing fucking anything. They're avoiding, they're denying, and they are not addressing it head on. So now listen, if you're going through an abusive relationship where you're cutting somebody off and changing your fucking number, that's called cutting somebody the fuck off. If you are literally never going to look back and never take a call from them ever again, that's called cutting somebody the fuck off. No contact in the context here means you are temporarily not communicating with them, but you're still hoping you hear from them in the future. That's a bunch of manipulation bullshit. And that is not healing, that's manipulating. That's not healing, that's hiding, that's avoiding, that's a bunch of crap. And you're going to keep getting the same crappy relationships doing that. No contact solves nothing. Some people like to chime in and say, oh, it's an emotional reset for my nervous system. That's what you like to tell yourself, great. But you could give yourself a 2-year emotional reset. And those skills you're missing are not going to magically appear 2 years later. It is doing nothing at all to address the real problem. Okay? Would you like to address the real problem? Well, there's only one way to fucking do it. You would have to have an emotional strengthening process. That's not going to be on the counselor's couch. It would be just like going to the gym for your physical muscles. You'd have to have a specific step-by-step for your emotional muscles. Something you could feel it consistently. That's why emotional strengthening is the real paradigm to your salvation. And by the way, if anyone here wants to chime in and tell me how, they're using no contact as a time to reset their nervous system, or this is what their counselor therapist advised, honestly, your therapist has no fucking clue what they're talking about. Your counselor's a fucking idiot. And your counselor just wants you to be on their couch again every Thursday for the next 10 fucking years. And I can prove it. Ask your counselor therapist how long it's going to take to finally fix you, where you won't have to go see them anymore. You're not going to like their answer. That's because they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Listen, I've coached for over 10 years, thousands of people. I'm the author of Refocus on Power. If you cannot showcase even a small fraction of what I can as far as verifiable video testimonials, please, shh, this is not for you here. There's a lot of complete bullshit out there. There's a lot of nonsense. Emotional strength trumps everything. You cannot speak how you don't feel. You can't think how you don't feel. Your counselor has no fucking clue what they're talking about. Your therapist is probably just as clueless as you are if that's what you're going through here. No offense here. If you are getting beat up by bullies, how would you fix that? Would you call that counselor or therapist? No. You'd take a martial arts course. You go to the gym and you'd strengthen yourself physically. That's what you do. Why are you not doing that for your emotional muscles? It's fucking insane how crazy society's gotten. Last thing I'm going to say here to you is during your no contact time, if you're using that time, you're taking that time as an opportunity to complain about what your previous partner did to you, that they're a narcissist, they're a covert narcissist, they're attachment avoidant. All you're doing, really, is using labels as an opportunity to make yourself feel better for the fact you got the short end of the fucking stick. How the fuck is your labels going to help you feel better in the next relationship? It's not. Only true emotional strengthening is your cure-all, so to speak here. You have real emotional strength. You don't allow, unsavory characters waste your time and energy here. But listen, I get it. We live in a very cruel world. That part I totally understand here. But don't say you're doing no contact in fucking healing. You're not. You're hoping they're going to call you. You're hoping that they're going to learn their lesson. You're hoping that your silence is going to punish them. It's not at all. The only person who gets punished is fucking you, because you're the one who has to keep marking on your fucking check mark box, no contact day 5, no contact day 6. They don't give a shit. They're living their own life here. So why not hit it head on? Because if you were really healed, you wouldn't be avoiding, you'd be facing it, or you'd be facing them. You'd have that conversation. You call them for what it is or what they are, and you wouldn't be in this fucking world of silence here. Real healing, real strengthening is where you can actually address the problem head on. Stop hiding. Stop listening to your counselor has no idea what they're talking about. Address the problem, and you can finally make sure that pattern that's been plaguing you for years or even decades finally comes to a halt here. Okay? Listen, and last thing I say here is, do not pass this off as some kind of, another influencer, another TikToker or YouTuber, whatever, giving their advices here. I'm pretty sure if you take the time to research me, go to YouTube, try to find anyone on planet Earth that has more verifiable, this is the best thing I ever did to get past no contact, time apart, a breakup, not in months or years like your counselor, days. I'm pretty sure I have more of those than all your last counselors combined. I'm not saying this to brag or pat myself on the fucking back. I'm doing this to wake you the fuck up, because even if you don't work with me, and listen, I'm not for everybody, I get that here. Even if you don't work with me, I'm here to free you from one vantage point. I'm here to give you a clear path. There's somehow society has taken away all common sense and brought people to a place where they're not actually fixing anything here. There is one path to where you want to go. That is emotional strengthening. So the one thing this channel is dedicated to is making sure people are clear on that one path. There is something called the science of neuroplasticity. It's not called the theory of neuroplasticity, and that beats all theories such as attachment avoidant and dismissive avoidant. It's all a bunch of nonsense. Emotional strength is the crux foundation for everything you want in this life. Not just in relationships, by the way. Love, health, and wealth across the board. You feel good, you speak better, you feel good, you make better decisions. It's for everything. But stop hiding. And if you don't have the emotional strength or skills to handle this situation, then at least don't pretend you're in no contact to heal yourself or reset your nervous system. Let's call it for what it is here. You have no fucking idea what you're doing. So great, no problem. Get that emotional strengthening process. Start strengthening. Be kind to yourself. You're doing something you've never done before in many years. And finally come into your true power. That version of you's got a shot. This no contact version of you, you're just delaying the inevitable. It's going to happen again. Anyway, we'll speak soon. Ciao for now.